Hey mates, Blind Prime here with a More Than Meets the Eye episode on the vehicle mode for Transformers Age of the Primes, Prima. So this is Prima in his vehicle mode, a very unique and interesting vehicle mode in my opinion, and today we're going to be getting into it in depth, and after we go over the vehicle mode from bumper to bumper, front to rear, we will of course give it a grade and then move into the size comparisons because I got a lot of fun things I want to compare him to today. And so we're going to try get into those size comparisons as quickly as possible because honestly, there's not that much to talk about with this guy's vehicle mode. He's a very simplistic vehicle in a way. So without further ado, I'm your host, Blind Prime. This over here in the corner is my co-host, Cream the Cat. You got anything you need to say to the audience, Cream? Huh? No, he was licking his toes, and I surprised him. Yeah, Cream, you shouldn't eat your toes. Okay, so let's get into this without further ado. Please go below, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Now, this is a unique shape for a Transformer, in that it reminds me of Bulkhead. That is what screams whenever I have this in my hand. With how rectangular it is, with the front two wheels and the back four wheels. I'd say Optimus Prime, but no, not with this stuff on the back end. It doesn't have like a trailer hitch or any place like that or anything like that. It's just got this big old area in the rear. It's big and solid, and that is more reminiscent of Bulkhead or Origin's Wheeljack, and that's what this guy reminds me a lot of Origin's Wheeljack or Cup or well, not Hot Rod or Sideswipe, but Dion. Yeah, Dion's got one of those rectangular windows, but it feels like, some of those Transformers, the ones that are the bigger, blockier Transformers with the rectangular windows, like Ironhide is a good example. Ironhide and Ratchet both have that big rectangular window, especially in Cybertronian modes, and those guys all seem like they come from this. This feels like it's the origin of, well, Origin's Wheeljack or Cup or you know or Bulkhead. This guy feels like he's the father of those people, of those Transformers, especially with the bulkiness of the front here, with how wide this bumper is. These little in the inset it's got a little smaller bumper on the inside area between the shoulder pauldron bumpers. You get two little spotlights in there with this big rectangular slot thing that I haven't been able to figure out what to do with. It doesn't seem like anything really fits in there. On the sides, we do have more. There's minimalistic shapes on the sides. You got these lines from the that feel more like a vent than anything else. Like they feel like there's just big vents on either side of the bumper. I guess for air intake, but it is still reminiscent of Cup in the center area and Origin's Wheeljack on the sides. It's neat how blended that feels, and I hope I'm right with that this guy is supposed to be the ancestor to those, because I heard somewhere that some of these primes are supposed to show, or the 13 primes are supposed to showcase that they're ancestors to other Transformers. But we're moving on over here to the sides of him. He's got his siege ports on the sides that kind of give you the symbolism of the center of his side door area, but it's not really complete in my opinion. It feels like there could have been more done with that shaping in that area to get it more solid, especially with how loosey-goosey these fists are and wanting to connect to the sides. It never wants to really connect too well over there. And that is kind of a shame. So it does hinder this alternate mode a bit, in my opinion. We come down to this this wheel below, which has got a really cool feeling hubcap on it, but not really much else going on. It's also big. It's big and in the open. There's no sort of a wheel well or anything like that. It's just there. Then we move back further, and we've got these back wheels that are on their own little platforms that don't ever want to really engage with anything. They just kind of want to just hang out there. And that's a shame. That definitely takes off from it the fact that these wheels don't click into something. I really wish they did click into something. But you get these two wheels in the back. They're smaller, and they're also in a wheel well that reminds me a lot of Optimus Prime from Siege. But that's the only thing that reminds me of Optimus Prime from Siege on this guy. Everything else, like I said, screams more on cup or those such things. Coming around here to the back, we have a back area for this vehicle that is absolutely nothing. Just two hinges for the knees, and there's not really much else happening there. It's sad. It sucks. We're moving around over here to the other side, and we've got more of the same. This guy's perfectly symmetrical. I do like that the lines that we talked about in robot mode, I brought up those tiger stripes. They do break up this vehicle mode a little bit better. But that's mainly it. There's some fun textures around here, but these are just the leg textures. These are just the legs. And the front has that fun rectangular window and what feels like something on the maybe some runners on above the rectangular window, but not really much else. There's not really much more to talk about with this figure. It's a good one, but it's also pretty bland as vehicles go. But it's also one of those Transformers where you're not really going to have him in vehicle mode very often. Vehicle mode is nice, but the vehicle mode is not what you bought it for. I'm going to give this vehicle mode a B minus. I think it could be better. I do think it could be better, but it could have been a lot worse. It definitely could have been a lot worse. So let's get into my favorite part of these videos, and I'm going to take the sword out from between there. And yeah, no, he is also getting a B minus because he's got no sort of weapon storage. I just kind of shoved the sword between his legs and called it a day. And that's kind of it. Unless you want to connect the sword pieces together, and you connect these sword pieces together, and then we can come around here to the siege port, and you just plug the sword in. There you go. Now the sword's just hanging around on the side of the vehicle mode. But that's it. All right, let's get into some fun size comparisons. And first off, I wanted to size compare him to a Siege Optimus Prime. Here's a Siege Prime mold, and we see that if you can't see, I'm going to put them front bumper to front bumper, and Siege Prime is the longer Transformer. Though weight-wise, I'm going to have to give it to neither. Both of them feel about equal in weight. It's just that Prime's weight is a little more focused on the front, and I knocked your fun little bird friend off your head there, Prime. I'm sorry. We'll put your bird friend back on later. Okay, let's move you back over here next to Kream. Kream, don't attack Prime. Okay, I know. It's the Nemesis Prime, but don't mess with him. And who else are you messing with over here? Oh, Carnivac. So we got a little Carnivac here. We can compare him to Carnivac. He arrived today. That's a fun figure. So Carnivac, we're going to compare him from snoot to tail. And Carnivac's definitely longer, but Carnivac is actually a little bit on the wider side. And I'd give it to Primea on the width, but definitely height-wise, I'm going to give it to Carnivac, though Carnivac is winning extra because he's got legs. So that's Carnivac. We're going to set him down over here. And we've got Bone Crusher. Here's Bone Crusher. Fun Transformer. Now, Bone Crusher is not as long as Primea here, and Bone Crusher is as tall as Primea, if you count the weird little, what is that, covered area on the back of Bone Crusher? Okay, so that's Bone Crusher. Now, we've got Q, which we will be talking about in a future video. Q is about, he's shorter from bumper to bumper. Yeah, he's definitely the shorter Transformer. Definitely the smaller one on height-wise, because, he is a deluxe. And then inside, he can just kind of fit in the inset of Primea. So, definitely the smaller Transformers. That's Q. And though I love Q's vehicle mode, I'm going to talk about Q. We will be talking about that Transformer. Here's Earthrise Optimus Prime. Now the Earthrise Prime mold and him, he's definitely not as long as the Earthrise Prime mold. Weight-wise, the Earthrise Prime mold kind of has it on him. His weight is a little more evenly dispersed, but it feels like the Earthrise Prime mold is a bit heavier. And then, of course, we have the Transformers Movie 4 Optimus Prime to show you that, look at that, at least in this way, Movie 4 Optimus Prime is bigger than Prima. The vehicle mode is taller, the vehicle mode is longer. The vehicle mode also weighs quite a bit more. You know, yeah, definitely Movie 4 Prime has it on Prima in the weight department. So that was those guys. And finally, you know, just as a final little fun comparison, Bone Crusher was the smallest one I was comparing them to, by the way. Here is Ultra Magnus from Robots in Disguise, and here we go. We can put him on top, and he fits quite well. Look at that. And then we can set him down here, and he can drive up here to the front, and that works out pretty good, especially since we got more of these fun rectangular windows on this Ultra Magnus. And this is definitely like a Cybertronian car carrier. This is not an Earth mode car carrier. That's for sure. This is a fun figure. I definitely say if you can find Prima on sale or something like that, do pick him up. He's an excellent figure to add to the collection. I am not dissatisfied with any of the 13 primes. Now that we've covered Prima all the way through, let's see, his vehicle mode got a B minus. His transformation, I forgot to tell you the grade for the transformation, but the transformation grade is definitely a B plus. And then his robot mode got an A plus because it's actually a really good robot mode. So that all being said, or no, I gave it just a basic A, didn't I? Yeah, I gave it a basic A. So we're gonna have to put him right at an A minus. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that his overall grade is it's a B plus because one was a B minus and B plus and then A minus, or just a basic A. Yeah. No, he comes out average to be B plus, a high B plus, almost an A, but not quite an A. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I am going to be enjoying myself at Acme Superstore today, so that's going to be exciting. Yeah, this is uploading while I'm on the road. So hello tomorrow, and hi, it's me yesterday. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.